evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's stream. First thing, a little bit of housekeeping duty. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Pretty sure you can see me because I'm seeing me in my preview window, but let me know that you can hear me okay, and we'll make sure that everything is working properly. So, first things first, we've got Donnie saying first, and then we've got Jet saying fist. So, at least I know that my chat is working. That's good. So if you can see me and hear me, let me know in the chat. And Donnie says, yes, sound and audio good. And we've got Dash here last, but here, I'm sure you're not the last one here. We've got Ken saying, hey, everyone. All right, I'm just going to throw that last chat from Ken up here in the screen, making sure that that works. That is working perfectly, so we are good to go for the stream tonight. Once we get through kind of introductions and initial chat and stuff like that, I am going to show you the motion picture miniature masks that I have received in the mail. They're here. We'll unpack those and take a look at them. And I'm going to be working on filling windows. I have this here that is almost full of windows. The only windows I've got left to fill are, yeah, all of these. Is it all of these? Yes, all of these on this side of the neck. I'm not sure whether I'll get through those tonight on the live stream, but at least we'll get a good start on them. But once everybody rolls in, I will pull out the motion picture miniature masking set and open it up here on screen and give you guys a quick look. So I'm going to adjust my crooked camera here. I don't know how that got crooked, but that's looking a little bit better there. I'll turn my face back on and we will go. Let's see, who else do we have? Manfred Knorr gives us a thumbs up. I'm not going to worry about putting that on screen because I don't think it'll translate on screen. Here, let me go back to my full face here. And then Jet said, you said duty. Okay. Donnie says, hey, Jet dash Ken. Ken says, hey, Donnie. Jet says, hello, Donnie dash, the problem child, Officer Ken, and Manfred. All right, I'm not sure who's who there, but that's okay, and that's fine. All right, I am going to just quickly pop over to one of the other desks and get the big package of masks, and we're going to pull those out and have a look at them. Just give me one moment. All right. Okay. Let me throw the bench camera on. Bring my face up in the corner there. This is a big envelope. This is a considerably large envelope. Let's just say that this is 18 inches wide by we're gonna say that is 12.5 inches wide, deep. So we've also got Jordan in the chat. Hey Jordan, welcome to the stream. These came directly from England, from Motion Picture Miniatures. This is the 4-color scheme set from Motion Picture Miniatures. Now they sell this set two ways. You can get it for the TV version where it's just a 2-color scheme, and so that's a lot cheaper. Let me pull up the pricing here so that I can give you the accurate pricing. One moment while I pull that up. I have to go into some chat to grab that pricing. So I'm scrolling up. I should really write this down somewhere. All right. So the 2-tone set, now the prices I have are in British pounds, so you can do the translation into whatever currency you're using. But the 2-tone set, to replicate the look of the TV show version of the Enterprise, is £50. And the 4-color set is 130 pounds plus $10 postage for the UK and 20 pounds postage for overseas. So that is the pricing for these. So 130 pounds. I'm wondering what that is. Let me just do a quick conversion look here. BP to CAD, sure. Let's see. So what did I say? 50 pounds. I need to turn my numlock on. So 50 pounds would be 89.80 Canadian, and 130 pounds would be $233.47 Canadian. Let's see what that is in USD. So the 4-color set works out to $167.97 in USD. So these are not inexpensive mask sets for sure. However, we're going to pull these out and you'll see just how much vinyl is in one of these things. So, let's see. Skull is here. Skull says, hey guys. Jet says, is that the signed and autographed picture of myself I sent you? Jordan says, hey Jet, Donnie, Ken, Dash, Chase, and the rest of chat. Ken says, hey Jordan. Skull says, hi Jordan. Donnie Daughtry says, hey Jordan. And we're caught up on the chat for the moment, but I'm sure it won't stay that way. Let me move secondary hull just back here. And so I've got two sets of these, and I've got a little post-it note on it that says, thanks for your help, Andrew, from Wayne. So I know that these came directly from Wayne. Now you might know that Lou, I've already broken the seal on these just to make that easy so I'm not fighting with it on stream here. But I haven't really looked at these yet. So you may know that Lou is also doing masks. I don't know if he's going to be selling them or not, but major difference between Wayne's masks and Lou's masks is Lou is only doing a 3-color set, and Wayne has done the 4-color set. So that makes a big difference. You don't have to go through the process of manually masking everything off. So we've got some transfer paper. That's good. We've got some instructions and some layouts here. Let me see if I can zoom this in digitally here, because that'll be a little bit easier. So zoom it in a little bit, and let me just, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. I'm going to reset all of that. So let me zoom that in again. There we go. That's going to be a little easier for you to see what's going on here. I'll zoom it back out again once I get the masks pulled out, because there's going to be a lot of them here. So we have a placement guide. This is the top saucer, and it gives you all of the locations where the various masks are supposed to go. Lower saucer, dorsal hull, upper secondary hull, lower secondary hull, and the warp nacelles. Perfect. Enlarge and enhance, yeah. Don't quite have that on the digital zoom. Oh, and we've got more. I guess these are identifiers. So, looks like this is the placement guide, and these are the part identifiers, I suppose. so that you know what the various parts look like. Here are instructions with some photographs. So I've got some reading to do when I go to do this. And some photographs. Now, Wayne borrowed a kit from Andy at Inner Lighting in order to do this. So a little bit of a story here. We initially were working on this using my first kit here, and we were going back and forth across the pond trying to get these masks done. But it's a lot easier for Wayne to be able to make sure things fit properly when he's got the actual kit in hand. So he borrowed a kit from Andy over at Inner Lighting to be able to do this. So we've got a page of instructions and some images to help us out here. So let me throw these to the side. Oh, and Jordan says that looks right. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Jordan, but I'm glad it looks right. It's important that things look right. All right, I'm going to throw the instructions, and I'm going to throw the transfer paper to the side. And I'm going to go back and zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the paper. Let me see, I need to go out a little bit more, and I'll go up a little bit. There we go. At least now we've got the whole thing in the picture. I am not sure exactly. You know what? When I do it this way, then I can zoom in a little bit more, because these are going to be hard to see unless I'm zoomed in. So I understand that there are about 30 sheets, and these are, let me get this right, these are 30 A3 size sheets, and the A sizing for sheets is a system that they use over in Europe, or at least in the UK. So to give you an idea of the size of these things, these are 27 inches. Sorry, not 27. These are 17 inches by 12 inches. So a tabloid sheet here in North America would be 11 by 17. So these are a little bit larger than a standard tabloid size sheet. So these are 12 by 17. So a little bit larger. Okay, let me get these in the corners. So I have no idea what all these parts are, but these look like the base Aztec sheets here. I want to get my chat back up so I can see what's going on. Jordan says, haha, the placement instructions being 2 parts. Manfred asks, may I ask what the maker of the Enterprise D is? The Enterprise D is the 650 scale Enterprise D, made by Helios Models and Lighting. They're the ones who make the kit. They're the ones making the next kit, the next big kit I will be making, which is the 350 scale Enterprise B. And there's Donnie giving you the help. It is from Helios Models. And Manfred says, thank you, Donnie. Yeah, so when you're looking at models from Helios, they don't have on their website a way to purchase or order a model because of how everything works as far as CBS, Paramount, etc. So they don't have pricing on their website. They don't have an ordering portal or anything like that. In order to get the models from Helios, what you have to do is you have to contact them. So you either email them directly or contact them through Facebook Messenger, and they will give you pricing. They'll let you know if a particular model that they're doing is available. I'm not sure if the Enterprise D is available anymore. The 650, 460, and 350 Enterprise B/Excelsiors are currently available for order. But that's how you have to do it with them. You have to contact them directly. So, All right, let's go back to the table. Here we are. So this looks like it is a panel of base Aztecing. I just want to kind of go through these. And this is cut on Ore Mask 810. And that's great. There is there's a nacelle here, some base ones. Not quite sure what everything else is. This is definitely for the around the bridge. This is my first time looking at these. Yeah, more paneling. Another nacelle portion. This looks like these parts here look like they are for the back of the secondary hull neck. So some things I can identify just by looking at them. This is definitely, yeah, this is going to be probably the lower. Yeah, this would be the lower saucer middle. More paneling. More base paneling. Okay, we've got more nacelles. This I recognize. This is under the bottom of the secondary hull. I can tell these are side panels for the secondary hull. Definitely tell those shapes. We've got some of the pylon sections here. More pylons, I believe. Let's see. Okay, we're starting to get into some of the secondary color sheets here. And they are... The sheet number is cut into the sheet, so you know exactly what they are. More pylons. Some of these will be the primaries. These are clearly the secondaries. You can see the pieces cut out, so this will work as a stencil. So you'll take the stencil out, leave the bit pieces in, lay them over where you want, and you'll spray your secondary and tertiary. Sorry, your tertiary and whatever you call the fourthiary colors. Somebody let me know in the chat. Secondary, tertiary. What's the next thing called? Fourthiary. So these will be for tertiary and fourthiary colors. More of those. These look like saucer bits and pylons. Neck pieces. Yeah. Lots to look at here. More deck 2 and 3 pieces. You might get the idea that there are a lot of parts here. So, quaternary. So Jordan is telling me that it's a quaternary or quadrinary. Jordan, which one is correct? I'm assuming you Googled it. So was the second one a correction? Quadrinary? I mean, that sounds reasonable. Maybe Jordan made it up, and maybe he made it up and just being confident in what he's saying. Jordan says it's the second one. Okay, quadrinary. Primary, secondary, tertiary, quadrinary. Quadrinary. There we go. Oh, and Jordan's saying he actually knew that one. Didn't have to look it up. Yeah. So look at this. 30 sheets of these masks. So this is a lot of vinyl. So you can start to appreciate why these are the price that they are when you take into account just how much vinyl and then apparently Jordan is quintrinary would be 5. Good to know. I'm not sure we're doing a quintrinary color. Possibly. I'll have to go back to the studio manual and see just how many colors there are. But maybe we will, if there is a 5th color, we will add those. But Wayne's done and allowed for 4 colors with these masks. So these will be more vinyl than the masks that Lou would be producing, but it gives you that fourth color scheme option. And as I was saying, because the number of sheets, and here we are at the end, that was 30 sheets right there. You can understand why there is a cost to it as it is. So you weigh for yourself. So if you're building this kit and you're looking at the price of masks, you weigh for yourself the price, the cost, versus the time involved that it would take to manually mask all of that stuff yourself. So that's a decision that the builder has to make. Let's see. Jet says, now you're just showing off, Jordan. Jordan says, just flexing knowledge. And then he says, Jet is right. Ken says, I really like Quint too. Bad Jaws ate him. Jordan says, ha 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 ha, Ken. Donnie says, so you're telling yourself something you didn't know but already knew. Jordan says, yep, Donnie. And Todd is here. Hello and good evening all. Welcome, Todd, to the stream. We were just looking over all 30 12 by 17 sheets of vinyl that are part of the motion picture miniature masking set for the Enterprise D. So, just so that you are aware, there are no window masks provided with this kit. However, if you are building this and you have access to a Silhouette Cameo cutter, vinyl cutter, I can send you the Silhouette file for all, or the files, I should say, because they're in multiple files, just because of the way that I've worked through the process. I can send you the files so that you can print your own or cut your own window masks for this kit. So, yeah, that is that's the tour of the motion picture miniature masks, which I will be making extremely good use of. Now, 30 sheets here, which means I have 60 sheets to work with because I'm doing this twice. So lots of people are saying hi, Todd. Ken is asking Andrew, will he be making masks for the Excelsior? He will not, but Hagen has already been working on getting some masking designed for the Excelsior and for the Enterprise B. He's been researching the process because doing the paint scheme on that ship is a little bit different, and he's been going crazy working on that. I just wanted to see if I can pull up the photo of that he has sent me, and I will show it to you. Let's see. This is a good photo. Let me save it. One moment while I'm doing the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, we'll just save it here, open it up, toss it in my streaming software, and 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. On the left is a picture of the Excelsior version of the studio model. And on the right is the work that Hagen has done on the 650 scale Excelsior so far, working towards replicating that paint scheme. And it's looking pretty good there. Let me zoom in just a wee bit on that so you can see that progress. And so Hagen is working on kind of figuring out the whole masking thing with these kits. Now the Enterprise B paint scheme is a wee bit different, not terribly different, and so a lot of the painting practices that Hagen is filling I can't talk. A bunch of the painting practices that Hagen is working out right now are going to be transferable to the Enterprise B, and he will provide me with the masking files so that I can print out the masks necessary to do this. And it's more stenciling than it is masking, it seems, on this kit. So that's what he's working on, and he is certainly happy to share that information. So yeah, I'm going to just switch back to this camera feed right now. I'm going to take a quick peek at the chat, and then we'll get working on some windows, I think. I will have to pack those masks away. Jet says, oh, there goes the chat. Oh, referring to Todd coming in. Okay, let's just skip up above all the hellos. Ken says, looking good. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, it's looking really good. Donnie says, that looks awesome. And Jordan says, very cool. Yeah, so it's kind of nice that there's all these people who are working on various things and willing to share their knowledge and thoughts and processes and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, I need to make an adjustment to my desk view. There we go. So before I throw that over, I just needed to undo the zoom I had done. All right, I'm going to get all this stuff packed up into the envelope to keep it safe. So when Wayne sends these to you, you get these in a cardboard-backed envelope. Now, they were also, because I'm getting, I cannot talk tonight. I cannot talk tonight worth anything, apparently. So when you get these, they come in these cardboard-backed envelopes. However, because I got 2 of them, he shipped them to me in a box. So both of these cardboard-backed envelopes were inside a box. There we go. Let me grab the instructions and the transfer paper and all that kind of stuff, and I will pack these away. Jet says, Andrew, you should have replied to Ken by saying, thanks, I'm losing weight. On the weight side of things, I have not lost any in the last week. I have also not gained any in the last week. I have plateaued. Fully expecting that. It's been a couple weeks where I've kind of been in that plateau state. I had sushi this week. I have not had sushi since I started this. Now, sushi contains, obviously, rice. And that was kind of a deliberate thing because I have not had any main carbs for the whole time. And since I plateaued, I wanted to take in a little bit of carb just to see if that kind of kickstarts the whole process over again. So I have no idea. That was yesterday for lunch. Today I was exactly the same weight as I was yesterday. So was it yesterday or the day before? Anyway, I've been exactly the same weight each day. So I'm curious to see if that just helps kind of re-kickstart everything. So let's see. So I am currently at 174.6, and I've been at 174.6 today, 174.6 yesterday, 174.6 the day before. So I'm kind of getting tired of 174.6 pounds. I'd like to go down a little bit more. Let's see. Dash says, will you be getting a Cerritos ship or the special edition. I will certainly be getting the Cerritos. I doubt that I'll be getting the special edition because I would have to import that directly from the States because they're only going to be available through the Auto World store. And I don't think that that's going to be worth it for me to import. But I will get a kit or two when they come to local hobby stores. I say local because our closest hobby stores are 2 hours away in either direction. All right. Jet said when he said looking good. Yeah, I got that. Ken says, great job on not gaining any weight, especially with Halloween. Yeah, we had a lot of Halloween candy around because we do full-size treats at a table out in our driveway. We also give away coffee and hot chocolate. Yeah, so we've had a lot of candy around, and I have not touched a single one of them. So the only cheat I have done is the one day where we had sushi for lunch, and that was kind of a deliberate thing to try to see if I take in a little bit of carbs, if it'll help to just re-kickstart the whole process. So plateauing is certainly expected, and everybody was telling me that I would plateau. I just didn't know when and at what point and for how long. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to keep doing it and see how it goes. On the other side of things, I did have coffee for the first time this morning. I made myself one French press of coffee, and I had my coffee this morning, which I have not had for about 6 weeks. Again, just deliberately to see how my stomach reacts, and it was perfectly fine this morning. So looks like maybe going like 6 weeks without any of the carbs or any of the coffee has really helped with the acid reflux. So let's see. Trek Mods is in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Same here for hobby stores. I'm 4 hours away from Toronto. Yeah, because you are in, if you are who I think you are, and I talked to you at Wonderfest, you are in Ottawa, right? Is that correct? Tell me if I'm correct. Although, no, you wouldn't be in Ottawa. You would not be in Ottawa if there's nothing around here for hobby supplies, so I am wrong about that. So, I might have my people mixed up because I did talk to a lot of people at Wonderfest, but I'm pretty sure you were there. Sudbury, okay, yeah. And we did talk at Wonderfest, right? Now I'm doubting myself, but we chatted at Wonderfest, right? 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 Yeah? There's a delay on YouTube? There's a delay? Oh, I'm being left hanging here. Because he does say no, Sudbury. Yeah. Never been? Okay. So that's not you who I was thinking of then. No problem. I'm lucky to I'm lucky to remember anybody that I've talked to, especially names and channel names and stuff like that. So. But Sudbury, yeah, I have only ever driven through Sudbury on my way to Sault Ste. Marie. So, but I can understand the pain. So where would be your closest hobby store? Because I don't think there's one in Barrie. So I'm assuming your closest one would probably have to be the Zoom Room in Aurora. If you're going to go across to Aurora that way. I mean, that would take you off the 400 coming down. You'd have to cross over to Aurora that way. So what would be your closest hobby store? I'm really curious. Anyway, let me put these aside. Let me grab this. Let me asseyez-vous, s'il vous plaît. And let's get some work done. I'll do a little bit of work and a little bit of chat, and a little bit of work and a little bit of chat, and that's kind of how these things go once we get past the initial greeting, show and tell, and all that other stuff. So let's throw this up. Let's throw this. Great hobbies in Toronto. Yeah, so my closest, I'm in Kingston. We used to have such a good hobby store here. We used to have the biggest hobby store in Eastern Ontario. It was massive. And they shut down. So now my next closest options for hobby stores is Great Hobbies in Oshawa or Great Hobbies and the Hobby Center in Ottawa. So those are my my two choices when it comes to hobby stores. So when I am passing through Oshawa on my way to Newmarket, because we have family in Newmarket. Oh, and I also do, there is also the hobby store in Newmarket. So I definitely do stop there. Just going to grab my water here. So I stop at the Zoo Room anytime that we're in Newmarket, but I always, if I need something and we're passing through, I will always just head up off the 401 up to Great Hobbies in Oshawa and get some supplies there if I can. And of course, anytime that we go into the city, into Ottawa, I definitely stop at both the Hobby Center and Great Hobbies. They're really close to each other, basically Hunt Club and Maryville Road in Ottawa. So not that that means a lot to most people, but it means something to me that where that is. And to any Canadians who know Ottawa, they would know that area. All right. Okay. I'm going to drop in some solar res, and then I will hit it with the UV. I will slice off the top, and then I will look at chat again. And that's kind of going to be the process we're doing. Really short blast. And then slice it off right away. Makes for a really nice window. I should probably zoom this in a little bit now. Let me do that. Zoom. And is it this one? Yeah. There we go. That's a little bit better for you. I don't have a really good pointer here, but let me grab a scalpel, hobby knife, number 11 blade. These little round holes, I'm not sure if you can see them or not, but there's little round window holes, or whatever they are, above the main windows here. Those don't exist on the kit. I had to put those in manually. That's what I was doing while I was on the Hobby Time Modelers stream last night. I was drilling those holes out, and yeah, this side came out really well. They're even a little bit crooked on the studio model, on the 6-foot studio model. So if any of them came out a little bit crooked, then I'm not too worried, because that's the way they are on the studio model. Just gonna take a quick peek at Twitch just in case somebody's over there and the chat's not coming over, but nobody is watching me over on Twitch, as I fully expect. No big deal. All right, I will keep going, and I will, so like I said, pour solar res in, hit it with the UV light, slice the extra off, check the chat. That's gonna be my routine, pretty much. I might be a little bit quiet while my head's down looking at the window to put the solar res in. I have to give it such a really short blast of the UV in this section, because I need the solar res to still be fairly soft when I slice it, because the way the ship is curved here, it makes getting the blade in there very difficult, and there's some areas where it's almost next to impossible to get the blade in. So the areas where it's harder near the edge and during the sharper curve, I will only do one window at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. And slice. There we go. I feel like this is a bit of a deja vu. of last week, but I'm just so close to getting these windows done. Let's see. Ken says, I feel lucky my hobby shop is 10 to 15 minutes away depending on traffic. Yeah, it's so they must is it a good model shop there in Winnipeg? I've only been in Winnipeg once. Well, no, technically I've been in Winnipeg multiple times, but the only time that I've gotten off the plane in Winnipeg, because we've landed a couple times, I flew in just to drive back into Ontario because I had to go up to what's it called? Kenora. I had to go up into Kenora, so I had to fly into Winnipeg and then drive back into Ontario for Kenora. Jet says, hey Andrew, have you watched Lou's latest? I did watch his latest today. I'm not sure he's going to be successful in keeping a separable saucer. He's running into the problem that I kind of identified early on, where the shape of the area here does not mate well with the corresponding area on the primary hull on the saucer. I think that's going to need to be permanently joined, and it's going to need to be filled in, and then a separation line is going to need to be scribed in there. So, I mean, more power to him if he can make it separable for transport and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't be too confident that he's going to be able to do that. And I don't think he's too confident he's going to be able to do that as well. Trek Mod says, we have a small place here in Sudbury, but products are limited and expensive, and they have absolutely no Star Trek stuff. Yeah, I can imagine some of the communities, at least especially the further north in Ontario you go, because the center of the Ontario world is Toronto, right? The further away from Toronto you get, the less there is. Until you get to Ottawa, then there's more stuff. But just seems to be life in Canada and life in Ontario here. Ken says we have a few, but I like going to Hobby Sense. Cool. Yeah, you will always have your favorite place. I do like to support the smaller places. But I mean, when I grew up in a small town. And we had a hobby store in the small town, and that's where I got most of my models my Star Trek models when I was a kid, and I would always go in. It was in a strip mall, and there was a Loblaws in the strip mall, and there was a giant tiger on the other end, and right beside the giant tiger was the hobby store. And I mean, this thing was tiny, but it was jam-packed full of stuff, and they always had Star Trek kits whenever they were available, so I would always save my money and buy my kits there. And yeah, the couple that ran it got older, retired, and they went out of business. But there was also the next town over had a hobby store, and it was really good too. One of my friends was also into building hobbies. He lived in the other town, and literally the hobby store was down the street and around the corner from his house. So anytime that I went to spend the day, the afternoon at his place or something like that, we would always walk down into the hobby store. It was kind of nice. But it's too bad that a lot of these small local hobby stores just aren't around anymore. Jet says, the further away from Toronto, I am happier. The further away from Toronto, I am the happier I am. Cool. Jet also says Vancouver has a great store called Magic Box Hobbies. Check it out. It's been a long time since I've been in Vancouver. I've spent most of my BC time in Victoria. So most of my time in Vancouver has been flying through Vancouver Airport. But I've done a little bit in Vancouver, just nothing recent and not a whole lot. And Ken says, is that why you are in BC, Jet? Given that his name is Jet, you'd think that he'd be in Winnipeg, right? Right? Supporting the Jets? All right. Okay, next set of windows. This goes really fast on live stream. I'm really looking forward to getting windows done. Oh, bubble. Let me take care of the bubble here. Bubble, bubble, bubbles. I should have enough, more than enough solar res to finish this project. Although before the next projects come into the shop, I will probably have to get a new bottle. And I think my solution for that is to order it, 2, 3, 4, order it off of the Amazon.com website and have it shipped to my in-laws' condo in Florida, and then bring it back with me in my checked luggage when we go to visit in February. I think that's... Oh, I'm leaving chat on the screen when it doesn't need to be on the screen anymore. Sorry, just the service I provide. Here we go. Jet says to Ken, that and I owe people money back home in Edmonton. Uh-huh. All right. Okay. Next window. If you're wondering why I'm not taping these from the front and filling them in from the back, I have found that this method happens to work best on this particular model. Not exactly the way I would do it on every model, but for this model, on these sections, this seems to work the best. 3, 4, off. And slice. There are some sections where it was next to impossible to get the blade in. So what I started doing was filling it, wiping it off, and hitting it with the UV. It does create a little bit of a dimple when you wipe it off. It doesn't wipe off flat, but it sure beats fighting with some of the areas where the blade just can't get in and around the curve properly. But yes, so the answer to the question, I will be getting at least 1 or 2 copies of the Cerritos kit, and but they likely will not be the limited edition where there's only 500 of them, simply because ordering 3, 4 directly from the States can be a pain and much more costly. And although I do have a considerable stash of Star Trek kits just to my left here, I do buy kits with the intention on building them, not with the intention of them living on my shelf until my kids throw them out once I'm gone. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. And slice. I always thought, now I know I think Jordan and I were talking about this before, but I've always thought it would be cool to have a hobby store, and in the hobby store have work space available to rent, like, so a work share space where tools are available. So you rent space on a workbench. That's your space to use, where you can do your projects, and there's communal tools available to be able to do stuff. And I thought that would be a really great business plan idea for a hobby store, because so many people don't have the space to be able to work on projects. And if you could have a space to work that you rented, and in the cost of renting you had access to all of those tools, like things that you might not be able to have access in your own shop, like say a belt sander or welding gear, or I don't know, all this stuff that is just like costly to get yourself or hard to find space for, and you could just rent that space and build, and there'd be other people around that you could build with, and if you needed supplies you could just hop over to the hobby store side and pick up whatever you needed right there. I always thought that would be a really cool business concept to have. So somebody should do that sometime. Not going to be me. Trek Mod says, takes a lot of confidence to show the back of your head while you work. To be young again. Uh, oh, because I still have my hair. I don't notice the gray in my hair until I go get my hair cut and it's all on that dark cape that they put over you. I don't notice it until that point. So lots of gray in there, but fortunately all of it is staying on my head. I would much rather go gray than go bald. So apologize to anybody who has gone bald there in the chat or who has receding hairlines, etc. Just my preference would be to keep it all rather than to lose it. So Jordan says that is a dream of mine. Yeah, we've talked about that. I would love to see that as an option. I mean, I've got space, and because we have a double car garage, and I've turned half of it into a studio. But I mean, we bought our house 9 years ago. No, 8 years ago. Sorry, 8 years ago. It was our 9th Halloween. But we bought our house 8 years ago, and our house has more than doubled in value. And we would love to have a new house and have more space because we now have 2 kids. My wife was pregnant with our first when we bought the house, but now we have 2 kids and all the stuff that comes along with having 2 kids. And we just don't have the space that we would really like to have, and we'd love to upgrade, but the cost of doing that now, I mean, it's a case of just inflation, right? Everything has just skyrocketed. So yeah, our house has more than doubled in value since we bought it 8 years ago, but so has every other house in the city. And that means that the gap between us and what we would like has also widened. So I think we're kind of stuck here for the duration, but I'm really fortunate that we were able to get a place that had a 2-car garage, and I've been able to turn half of it into a studio because I wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. That's why I think, like, for so many people, having that hobby store with a workspace share area would be really, really cool. Donnie says, I think we all buy kits with the intentions of building them, but there's this thing called life that keeps getting in the way. Very, very true. I mean, I don't know that I will build all of these. You know what? And when I first got back into the hobby, I was always keeping my eyes out for the kits that I had when I was young, so I could rebuild them. So I made sure that I tried to get every kit that I had before, and then some of the kits that I just never got when I was young, because I want to make sure that I can build those up again. Ken says, I buy models with the intention to build them too, but a cooler kit usually comes up first. Yeah. Yeah. I have, let's see, I have 2 1400 Enterprise E's. I have a Katinga, whatever scale it is. I've got 3 Vorchas, a Bird of Prey. I've got the 1000 scale Excelsior. I've got the AMT Reliant, 2 of those. I've got which is the 537. Yeah, I've got 2 of the 537 Reliants. I've got, well, here, you know what? Let me just switch over here and then grab this camera up top here. I'll just unhook it. And then I'll just show you what's in my stash. I'm gonna have to zoom it back out again, so give me a moment here. Reset all, that's the quickest way to do it. Ready for the nausea ride, because I am going handheld here. All right, so there's my top shelf. So some Vorchas there. Oh, I might have gone dark there for a moment. Some Vorchas, the Adversary kits, DS9, Runabouts, Kazon, a couple Voyagers, a bunch of Enterprise Ds, a Star Wars kit, a Cardassian, and then down over here I've got 2 350 refits, 2 350 NX-01s. I've got a 350 TOS. I've got the Insurrection Enterprise Enterprise E I picked up at Wonderfest privately. There's my boxes of parts for the Enterprise E's. They're not full boxes there. I've got a bunch of the clear Enterprise D's, some of the original series stuff there. I've got a few K7s. I've got a couple of the Enterprise. I've got one of the Bird of Prey. Behind the tape, I've got the 350 Klingon. I've got so the 350 Katinga. I've got a couple of the clear DS9s, a couple of the smaller Voyagers, another Runabout, the 350 Grissom, the Disco Prize, another Adversary set, and a bunch of small kits. And then in the white boxes are a bunch of resin kits. So that's my stash. I mean, nobody asked, but that's my stash. All right, you can enjoy watching me put my camera back up on the stand. And let me just reposition it here, and then I'll have to do the whole zoomy thing again. So bear with me while I re-zoom this in and re-pan it up and over a little bit. There we go. This should be okay there. I'll put my face back up in the corner, and then I'll go back to checking chat. Jet says, you have a different technique than me, Andrew. I count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Donnie says that too. Ken. Jet says, and some people don't even have one Star Trek kit. I know, that is so sad. We should start a charity for people that don't. Oh, and then Jet said, like me. Yeah. Trek Mod says you have a store there. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get all the kits that, well, like these model box tops that are on my wall behind me. Those are all kits I built when I was either a kid or a teenager, and so I found them up in my parents' office, in my parents' attic. I had kept all the boxes, and when I was cleaning out the attic because I had a whole bunch of stuff up there, I found them. I'm like, oh, this would make a good background for YouTube. So Jordan says impressive. Donnie says nice stash, Andrew. Well, I don't know. I shaved just before stream, so I shouldn't have much of a stash going on there. Ken says great collection of kits, Andrew. Donnie says I bet that Star Wars kit is getting lonely. You know, yeah, that Star Wars kit. Honestly, the only reason I have it is because it was a bonus when I was buying a Star Trek kit on Facebook Marketplace. I got it as a bonus with the kits, so yeah, that's why I have it. I mean, there are some Star Trek kits. I mean, Star Wars kits. I would love to build some ships if I get some commissions for them, but I don't know as much. I mean, I've watched all the movies and stuff. I mean, not all the TV shows that have come recently. Trek Mod says yes, sad face emoji for all. Dash says someone send him more Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, if I get, I'd love to do some of the bigger ships from Star Wars. That would be fun. Excuse me for a moment while I blow my nose. There we go. I muted myself, so hopefully you weren't inflicted with the sound of that. But yeah, so the Star Wars kit I have is an X-Wing fighter with the flight display, where it's got like so it's the AMT one, and it's got that clear piece that goes on display, and you like wedge the model into it. So that's the one Star Wars kit I have. But I mean, I'd love to do like a large scale Star Destroyer or something like that, where there's all those little tiny windows and stuff like that. But I would need somebody to order a commission of that for me to do that. Jet says, is it a sin to covet someone else's enterprise? Yeah, I don't know. All right, next window.
Well, next set of 2 windows, I guess.
As I said, the areas where it's really hard to get the knife in, 1, 2, 3, 4. I will only do slice. I will only do 1 window at a time, even if they are grouped together. This, by the way, this I'm using this green tape as a support, but this is actually like gaffer tape, which is great for when you're doing lighting and sound work. But this is chroma key tape, and so if I'm in our studio at work and I'm doing a video and I need to get like some C-stands in or something like that close for lighting or whatever, but it's within the frame of the green screen shot that we're doing, I found I just grab this and I cover the C-stands with it, and then I can chroma key it out in DaVinci Resolve, and it works really, really well. But it's working really, really well as a support for the model right now. Jordan says, just posted some photos of the 2700 scale Star Destroyer in Discord. This is a big model. I want to see that, Jordan. If I take a look at that, are you okay if I throw it up on screen? Oh wait, has Discord fixed their notification sound yet? I know that they did it for Halloween, but it is annoying as anything that you've got both the normal bloop sound, but you've also got the bone rattling sound. I'm assuming it's under sci-fi. Yeah. Oh, you can turn off the Halloween Discord sounds? That's pretty cool. Jordan says, of course. So I think instead of downloading them and putting them into my software, I am going to just grab a screen capture input. So give me 1 second while... Actually, I should already have that set up. Do I already have that set up? Ah, I must have accidentally closed it out before. 1 moment, please. Please stand by while we... Oh, what was it? Please stand by while we complete your long-distance call. To avoid this message, please dial 1 in front of a 10-digit long-distance number. Thank you. NDI/desktop capture, local desktop. I'm going to assume that it's desktop number 2. And yes, it is. I'm going to zoom in on it because I don't think you care to see the rest of my Discord in the background. Except I need to move this over here so I can actually see what I'm looking at. All right, that should be good. And here we go. Let me turn my face off so you can see. All right, so pictures that Jordan has sent, put in the Discord of this kit. Very cool. Looks like there's some nice detail on it. The only problem is, Jordan, I don't have anything for scale. Oh, there we go. That gives you a good idea. So what? That thing's gotta be what? 12 inches across on this piece? Something like that, if it's lined up straight? 12 based on your cutting mat there? And I'm back to the beginning. We'll go through them one more time in case you missed it. And is this the... let me go back to face view here. So is this the one that you're building for the sponsorship, Jordan? 12 inches, Jordan says 12 inches wide. So, wow, okay, good guess on my part there. And 28 inches long. Oh, he says there's a couple more below. Let me go check that out. Where am I? Discord. Where did I put Discord? Did I close Discord? I bet I closed it. Let me reopen it here and go back in. More below. Okay. Streaming software, and where's my screen? There we go. There's that one. And there's this one here. Oh, that looks like it. All right. Looks like a decent sized kit. Remind me, which kit is that? Again, I'm not the expert on the Star Wars kits. I know my Star Trek stuff, but I'm not as much of an expert by any stretch of the imagination on the Star Wars kits. Don't get me wrong, I like Star Wars. It's just I've always been more interested in Star Trek. I've got to get caught up on the chat here. Let's see. Trek Mod says, what's Discord? Yeah, just a platform for sharing stuff. It's used a lot in gaming. Todd says, I feel like that model is going to be as big as my huge Lego one. Ken says, Andrew, would you like a Bandai Star Destroyer? I have 2 of the kits. It is a 1/5000 kit with lights. You know what? I have absolutely no reference for size or what the kit is. I mean, sounds intriguing. That's for sure. Yeah, Todd already told me you can turn the Halloween Discord sounds off. Awesome. Kind of like when I used to play Minecraft and they would change all kinds of stuff for Halloween, and then he lets me know how to do it. I will go back to the chat after, so I know how to do that. Jordan says, yeah, for Green Strawberry. Yeah, so it's a sponsorship for Green Strawberry. Are you going to do it up, like, fully? Or are you going to do a basic build on it? Because I think I remember you saying you're going to do the basic build because you have to get it done for the sponsorship, that kind of thing. It's the Zvezda? Is that how you say it? Zvezda Revel Kit. Only is available in Russia and Europe. Okay. And Todd says, oh, not quite as big. The Lego one is 43 long and 26 wide. That's a good hefty bit of Lego. All right. Caught up on the chat. That is awesome. All right.
Let's do another window. I am just zipping through these windows tonight, right?
Oh, and don't forget, if you're in an area
like I am, where they do the silly thing of changing the time,
it is time change night tonight, or at least it is for Ontario. I don't know if it is for everybody. I envy Arizona that doesn't have to switch their times. Although I'm sure it's a pain for Arizonites because they don't change time, but everybody else does. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. I'll just say that whoever thought that doing this whole seasonal time change thing was a good idea has never had kids. It's terrible as a parent. Terrible when it comes to kids, because they're gonna get up like super early in the morning, which is a pain. Todd says, Jordan, you can light the Lego one once you finish that one. Ken says Saskatchewan doesn't change their time either. Does that mean that for half the year, the time zone in Lloydminster is the same on both sides of the main street? I wonder. Jordan says it has to be a stock build with their lighting kit. Gonna focus on paint. Yeah. And he says, lol, Todd.
Crazy thing is that the Ontario government has agreed in principle to switch. To not switch it, like to move to not switching time seasonally.
And I think the Quebec government has 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the Quebec government has also agreed in principle to switch, but they're waiting on New York State, I think, to agree to switch, because we will not switch if New York State does not switch, apparently. So and Dash says time change kind of came about because of World War II. Yeah, I have no idea of the history, but it is terrible when it comes to being a parent. And on Discord, I just saw that pop up. Is in general, because now there's a conversation going on Discord about the time change. Actually, I should close out Discord so I'm not getting the notification sounds coming up. But Todd, are you not in Arizona, where the time change doesn't happen? I mean, I guess that affects things like what time live stream starts for you. Where it's still 9 o'clock Eastern for the Hobby Time Modelers stream on Friday nights. It means that it'll be an hour different for you, I guess, right? Un, deux, trois, quatre. There we go. Jet says Lloydminster follows MST during the winter. So does Lloydminster switch? Like, does the whole city? So does the time zone kind of go into Lloydminster on the opposite side of the border? Because for those of you who don't know, Lloydminster is a city that straddles the border of Alberta and Saskatchewan. So half the city is in Alberta, the other half the city is in Saskatchewan. So it's a little bit strange there. Jordan says, thanks, Todd. Just changed the Discord settings to fix the sound. So nice. Yeah. Todd says, I am in Arizona, but everything changes around me. Yeah, I could see how that could get annoying. And since I set up the HTM stream, I got to move it an hour later to be. Yeah. Yeah, there's some Arizona-based streamers that I watch in the Minecraft side of things, and they keep their time for stream the same, but the rest of the country has to adapt when it comes to the time change. Which is the only reason why I know that Arizona does not change. Little air bubble there. I am almost on 2 full rows of windows. Woohoo! Blazing speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. Next windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. The one thing about doing this method with the windows where I'm slicing the extra off of the hull, you have to do it right away after you've exposed it to the UV, because it's still, excuse me, it's still a little supple, a little malleable. Once the UV gets turned off, if you don't hit it too long with the UV, but it will go hard within a minute of hitting it with the UV light, and makes it just that much harder to slice. So I try to make sure that I slice off the extra with the blade right away as soon as I've hit it with the UV light. Supple, yes. Ken's Hobby Bench says, what do you have left for windows to do, Andrew? I literally just have these windows here. So these windows on this section of this part is all I have left to do. And then once I have the rest of these windows in on the neck here, I just have to sand some of the windows just to take off some extra that might have been stuck there, and then I need to mask them. And this is the last part that has to be masked. Everything else has been masked, and then once that's masked, I will add some greebly bits to this part along the back, some bits that need to go on there, and then this will get the initial primer coat. And once all the parts have the initial primer coat, I'm going to be moving on to getting some lighting installed into the ship, which I'm looking forward to, because Window World has been a long time going on this kit. Yeah. I can't wait to get the painting stage on this. And unlike my fellow YouTubers who are painting the parts before assembly, apart from the initial primer coat, 3, 4, I will be doing all the paint work once this thing is assembled. I know that it's going to be a brute of a ship to work with once it's fully assembled, but I don't want to deal with the mess that Lou's going through with his seams. I choose not to. So I will put the first coat of primer on, and then I will put all my window lighting in, all my lighting in, and then I will assemble, and then I will give it another coat of primer. That'll deal with any seams and issues like that, and then I will get base coat and then do all the masking and stuff like that. So Jordan says make sure that you like that smash button, everyone. And Trekmod says, are names on Discord the same as here for anyone? Mine is, I think. Mine's the name. Mine's the name. Mine's the same, but not everybody's is the same. Like I know Ken's is not the same on Discord, so all depends. And Jet says, that is the way, Andrew, after assembly in the Canadian way. Okay. Sure. I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Jet, but we'll go with it. All right, next window.
And I'm not too far away. I just need some time to work on them.
I'm not too far away from getting the primer on to the Enterprise E's. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. All right. Donnie says, I've always liked the smash button. Should I click it too? Did I say like the smash button, or did I say smash the like button? I don't know. I probably read it wrong. Just a service, another service I provide to you. All right, next window.
Sometime in between windows, I need to grab a little bit of water here. It's right here beside me, but I keep forgetting to. It's like when a video on YouTube ends and I'm right in the middle of doing a window. And I can't do anything about it until I finish slicing the window off. There we go. All right, next window. Really ripping through these windows now. Just dealing with a little bubble. There we go. Some of the parts of this kit, some of the walls are very thick, which I mean they need to be because of the size of the model, but means 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and I'm doing that whole service where I leave somebody's chat up on the screen again. Again, another service I provide to you. Because some of the walls are really thick, it means that the windows are very deep, and if I fill from the inside with tape on the outside, it's much more likely that I will get air bubbles on this window surface. So I learned that on the saucer section. That's why I'm filling from the outside and scraping the extra off. I feel like I've been filling windows on these kits for months now.
One, 2, 3, 4. And slice. Jordan says, 2 Trek mods. I just dropped an invite to our Discord over at HTM, which means Hobby Time Modelers. In your most recent video, introduce yourself in the new members section and tell us about yourself, and we will let you in. Yeah. So the Discord I was in, sorry, I should have mentioned this. Sorry, I will just blame that on streamer brain. So the Discord that I was looking at is the Hobby Time Modelers Discord, large group of modelers who post there, and then a bunch of people also get together on live streams weekly, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, just on a group live stream to build whatever they happen to be building. And then there's there's another specialized stream where they're doing a group build that happens on Wednesdays. So yeah, you can go check that out. And Trekmod says, very gracious of you, thanks, I'll try to figure it out. There you go. All right, back at the bench. Next window.
You know, for the last week and a day, I have been exposed to so many sick people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last Saturday when I went to my parents' place so I could finish the metal work in my dad's workshop, my mother was sick with a cold or something like that. My dad was just starting with it, and I decided to go anyway because I had to get the work done. I needed to get that armature work done on the big Enterprise here, and just risked going and picking up whatever they had. And then I get home and my kids are also starting to get sick and coughing and all that kinds of stuff. And Saturday night was a really rough night with the kids. And then of course my wife went away on Sunday afternoon till Wednesday. So I was home on my own with sick kids for 3 days. And my son had some bad nights of sleeping. So there's one night where I was literally he needed me to be with him in his bed literally all night long, and he was like coughing and hacking in my face and stuff like that. So I've had my kids coughing and hacking, and then my wife's gotten sick, coughing and hacking, and sleeping in the same bed. You're bound to get whatever it is that the other person has, because sometimes when one of us is sick, we separate so that we don't contaminate each other. But we didn't have that option because my mother-in-law was here. Because my mother-in-law and my wife went away together for part of the week. So I have been surrounded by sick people, by sick family, by sick kids, and all kinds of stuff. Miraculously, I am still 100% perfectly good, and I hope that lasts, because I can't afford the time to be sick. Let's see. Jet says, I'm not that large. Well, maybe I am. Gotta lose too. Tregmod says, thanks so much, Andrew. Oh, Jet says, as in large group of modelers. Okay. Got it. All right. Next row. My talking about being sick, my most successful video on YouTube is the unboxing video for the 650 scale Enterprise D. I don't even know how many views it's got now. Last time I looked, it had like 24,000 views or something totally ridiculous like that. Just going in to have a look because I'm kind of curious. Yeah, almost 25,000 views on that one video. I was sick with COVID when that kit first arrived, and I was bound and bent. I was getting an unboxing video out the same day it arrived because I didn't want somebody getting it and getting an unboxing video out ahead of me. Obviously, because there's almost 25,000 views on it, it did very well for the channel. So I filmed that thing as sick as anything with COVID, and fortunately, you probably can't tell that much looking at the video, but like I just pushed through to get that one done. Yeah, I don't want to go through that again. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. Jet says, sorry. He says, I'll shut up now. Absolutely no need. And then Donnie says, wait, are you calling us large, Jet? Donnie says, I resemble that remark. And Ken says, I fit that description. Jordan says, I was also sick with COVID when I recorded my most watched video. Funny. Jordan, you probably shouldn't have said that. That just gives more fire to the meme. And Jet says to Donnie, no, never, it was Andrew. And Jordan says, wait, I'm not helping that. I'm not helping the I'm not the same person as Andrew thing, am I? No, you're not. You're not helping with that, no. Next window. So my deadline on this kit is that it's fully ready to go and packed up in a crate in time for Wonderfest. That's my deadline on this kit. And let me just see, because I'm curious now. Those are the wrong letters I'm typing. And Wonderfest is in a mere 208 days. So I've got 208 days to get this thing done, finished, and packed into a crate, and packed into my car to bring to Wonderfest. There we go. 200. I need one of those like digital countdown clocks where they've got like day, hour, minute, and seconds to put up on the wall behind me, so that as I'm doing stuff, you can see the like how much time I've got left before the kit is due to be finished. I should look at getting something like that. I'm sure they make them. I'm sure they're probably not cheap either. That would be kind of cool to see that in the background on my videos. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got some chat to catch up on, it looks like. Probably making fun of the whole meme. Donnie says, it's okay, Jordan, we know. Todd says, it is fun to watch Jordan talk to himself on stream, though. Donnie says, and he's very good at it, too. George Rue. Huh. Jet says, yes, Andrew throws on those glasses and he is in disguise. Jordan says, plenty of time. Well, you're not the one building this on the deadline. Jet says, a la Superman. Donnie says, or is it Andron? That sounds like the name of a robot. And Jordan says, at the end of every stream, have the show 24 countdown clock ticking away at the end with that sound. Not a bad idea. I might have to steal that idea. We'll see. We'll see. I did find that audio asset somewhere, because I have a video called Plot Armor on my channel where we just at work we did this little video thing about Plot Armor, and so I did get the 24 countdown thing for, or did I? Maybe I did. No, I don't think I did. But that would be a good idea. Donnie says now he's giving himself ideas. Right. Okay, next window. Beep, 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 beep. The Borg Queen from Picard Season 2 was one of the characters in 24 at CTU. 2, 3, 4. course, Jack Bauer only uses the washroom during commercial breaks. One, two, three, four, done. Let's see. Jet says, I have a countdown clock in the upper left of have a countdown clock in the upper left of your screen for when it needs to be done in your streams. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I've got more work to do to see how I can import that in. Because I think there's actually a feature for that, but I might have to purchase the asset. But I'll have to. I might have to look into that a little bit more. But if I had a digital one, like on the wall or something like that, then I wouldn't have to worry about it. It would just run the whole time, right? Jordan says she was great in that role. She was a female Jack Bauer. Yeah, I can't, like the character name. Excuse me, the character name is on the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming out right now. I saw on Facebook somebody posting side-by-side pictures of Janice Rand and Chloe from 24, commenting on how much they look the same. Yeah, Renee Walker, that's right. Like it was right there, but I just couldn't get it. That one was a little tougher to cut. Maybe I left the UV on just that much, a little bit longer. One, two, Oh, and the little emojis are coming through too. Interesting. Jordan says, saw that too. Yeah. I mean, they look a lot alike. A friend of mine got me onto 24, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. After it was already it was I think it was season 2 on TV, or it was going to be season 2 on TV, and so we wanted to get caught up watching the first season, and back then you could go to the video store and rent it on video, the whole season on video on DVD. So that's what we did to get caught up. One, two, three, four. Jordan says Chloe was an enabler. Yeah, but if she did not enable Jack, then the terrorists would have won, right? Because Jack was the faultless hero, and Chloe was the only one that ever believed him. And so if she didn't help him out, he would have been dead. And whatever tragedy 2, 3, 4 that they were trying to avoid in the show would have not been avoided. Jordan says season 4 was the best. Arnold Vosloo was a great bad guy. Yeah, it's been such a long time since I've watched 24. I mean, I remember a lot about season one, but anything beyond there, I would have to rewatch in order to remember, just because it's been so long. But I mean, maybe that's a good thing because I can rewatch it without remembering everything that's going to happen. I can't do that with Star Trek. I can't watch it and not remember every little detail that happens. Un, deux, trois, quatre. There you go. My requirement as a Canadian for bilingualism in the stream. I think I got a good air pocket in there. Jordan says, same Andrew. Jordan, you know you're not helping our case, right? One, two, three, four. So it's quite common here in Canada, especially when you live anywhere near the Quebec area. So like Ottawa, Kingston, like on this side of things, or over into the Maritimes a bit. It's very common for people to be bilingual and speak both French and English. Is it common in the U.S. for people to be bilingual? Like, do a lot of people speak Spanish in the States, or speak a second language, or is it primarily just English speaking for most people? I mean, and I mean for those who English is their native language is what I'm referring to. Here, if you want to do anything government related, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to be able to speak both French and English. Ken, was bilingualism a requirement for RCMP? Because it is a federal police. I mean, there still are a lot of people, like a lot of Anglophones, like even here in Ontario, who are not bilingual, but we have a good chunk of our population who at least can carry on a conversation in the second official language. 2, 3, 4. Go. Jordan says, my experience is that it is regional as well. Yeah? So there's pockets of greater bilingualism. Because I'm not meaning that, like, I'm not talking about anybody who English is not their mother tongue. like specifically referring to people who are Anglophones by birth. There are some bubbles in there I want to get rid of. Jet said, I failed and failed French in grade 7. And I'm from Alberta, if you know what I mean. Yeah, there's not a, as far as I understand, there's not a lot of bilingualism the further west you go. Dash said, my English is bad, even being American. My phone even hates me. It's amazing how everybody in North America talks about the British having an accent. 2, 3, 4. When, you know, they're from the country that the language shares a name with. So if you're in England, basically it's the British do not have an accent. It is merely the proper way to pronounce your words, right? Jet says that Dash, yes, we noticed. Ken says, but to be fair, Dash, your phone hates everyone. So Ken, is bilingualism a requirement for RCMP at all? I mean, we've had... Ken says, nope, not a requirement. So if you want to be... Certainly, if you want to... 2, 3, 4... If you want to be, like, in politics at all in Canada, you really have to know both languages. And although we've had some prime ministers that have not been very good in one of the 2 official languages. But generally, if you want to go far in Canadian politics, you have to be able to do both French and English. One, 2, 3, 4. Next window. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slice. Jet, pretty sure pretty sure the Mounties ride horses and not donkeys. Let's see. Jet says, "Hey, thanks for the stream, Andrew, and don't forget to button that smash." Are you heading out, Jet? And Ken says, "Fight dirty, because it could most likely be life or death." Yeah, I do not envy the job that law enforcement have, especially in today's climate. one little bubble right on the top. It might get sliced off, but I'm not taking that chance. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, done. I mean, done for that batch of UV. I am certainly not getting all these windows done tonight. That is for sure. Ken says, I didn't have many fights, but I certainly never lost. Yeah. We had to call the police this week at work. In behind our building and behind our parking lot, we have a wooded area. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We've recently been having problems with people setting up tent in our wooded area. And it gets especially bad when they have fires, especially right now because everything's so dry and like dying from the season, right? So for safety, we can't have people camping back there, so we had to call the police to have them investigate, so that there's a police report on file stating that we've done due diligence in case anything happens, like there's a fire or whatever. Because for insurance purposes, we would have to have proof that we have done our due diligence to try to move the person along, and that we're not condoning people camping in that wooded area on our property. So whole liability type of thing. Jet says, not leaving, just expressing my thanks for having a place for me to make irritating, corny jokes while I edit a video. Oh, editing video? Very cool. Very cool. Alright. I can't tell if these have any resin in them. Sometimes the ones on the very edge here end up getting some resin in them from the back when that goes in. One, 2, 3, 4. This one's not done. Some of these edge ones, they can be a little leaky. So sometimes I put some in. I hit the UV, and then I have to go back in and top it up again. Otherwise, it'll just continuously leak into the back. Go. Although I think I skipped a row. Yeah, skipped a row. I'm gonna drop back down here. One, 2, 3, 4. Go. Jet says, this time last year I was on a live aboard the Bahamas scuba diving for a week. Okay. And I'm leaving the chat on. Again, that's the service I provide. There we go. Get a couple more windows done here before I have to wrap up for the night. I mean, I do get a little bit of extra sleep tonight, but I need that extra sleep because I've had sick kids all week, so I do need that extra hour sleep rather than an extra hour streaming. Live isn't live as in living. Oh, you were on a liveaboard in the Bahamas scuba diving. Okay, I got it. Got it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Whew. One, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And Chad says English is easy to learn, right? They say it's one of the harder languages to learn as a second language. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of windows filled during the live stream tonight. I mean, obviously, I'll make more progress when I'm not live, but that's no fun. It's more fun being on live stream and having people keep me company while I do the work. But that is going to be it for me and my live stream tonight, because, like I said, although I get an extra hour tonight, I need it for sleep, and I have to be up early to work in the morning, so I need the sleep instead of the extra hour on live stream. So hope that you've enjoyed the live stream. If you did, make sure that you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, why not hit that subscribe button today? A lot of people here. Hit that subscribe button today. You will make me very happy if you do. But I am hoping that I am going to get some filming done on Monday for an update video. I was supposed to get that filming done this past week, but again, I had sick kids, and so I didn't get to that filming. But keep an eye out over the next week or so for a new update video on the Enterprise D projects. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and have a great night, everyone. I hope that you have a good night and enjoy your extra hours of sleep. See you later.